Hello, buddy. Welcome back to the Tin Man Score channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor, and today I thought I'd get on here and show you guys my top 10 favorite movie knives. And if it's more than 10, we'll make it top 15. So let me show you the image of my lower knife on the list, and then we'll go up from there. Okay, I changed my mind. I made it a top 15 list. So at number 15 is the cold steel Espada, used by Mickey Rourke in Expendables 1. After seeing Mickey Rourke pull that knife and unfolding it out of his boot and throwing it against the target board dead on and beating Jason Statham's throw, I was like, oh man, that was epic. At number 14 is the Buck 120 hunting knife used by the Ghostface killers in the Scream franchise. That's the reason why I put this knife on the list, because it's a Ghostface weapon. And the design of it just looks simple and easy to use while hunting. Or you could probably use this for cutting fishing lines or setting up camp with as well, like make simple tin spikes. But it's a cool design, nevertheless. Number 13 is the Expendables 2 Toothpick knife, designed by Gil Hibbon. I got this one a little bit lower on my list because, one, it's an already known Wild West toothpick design, but Gil just added the skull and raven for the Expendables logo and slapped it on the handle. And plus, it looked cool with Stallone using it, stabbing the heck out of the Jean-Claude Van Damme's bad guy in that movie. Okay, coming in at number 12 is the Rambo 4 Machete. Don't get me wrong, I still like this blade. I even said so in the Rambo movie knife ranking video. But it's just like one of those simple homemade knives that you could probably forge in your own backyard quick. It don't have no fancy embellishment guards, which of course Rambo was in a hurry, I get that. But it just looks like a simple jungle machete you could just craft up out of scrap iron. Still a cool, wicked blade, because I like that scene where Rambo stabbed the main general in the stomach and ripped his guts out with that thing. Oh, that was brutal. Coming in at number 11 is the Bowie knife used by Jim Bowie in the movie The Alamo, starring John Wayne. Now, they also made a remake of The Alamo with Billy Bob Thornton playing Davy Crockett. And that Bowie knife that Jim Bowie carries in there looks just like a simple Musso Bowie with a spine guard, while this one is unique because I love the way the blade tip is curved right here and the handle is more straighter and it contours with your hand grip. But also, to be honest with you, I wouldn't mind having a replica of this for my collection. It's just a bad to the bone looking blade. Coming in at number 10 is Rambo's MKA Bowie knife from Rambo Last Blood. To be honest with you, I should put this one higher on my list, but when I mentioned it in the Rambo Bowie knife ranking video, I said it just looked like a simple Bowie knife you could probably pick up at any hunting or armory surplus store. But Dietmar Pohl did a good job designing something that looks unique just for Rambo, and Stallone wanted something simple but with knife making of the future mixed in with the design. I just hate that when he went down to Mexico, that Mexican cartel guy took it from him and cut his symbol in his cheek. But I hope when he went to seek revenge and he killed him with the Heartstopper, that he grabbed this knife back, because I wouldn't have left it down there. And number 9 is the Legionnaire Bowie knife designed by Gil Hibbon for Expendables 2. Gil came up with a cool blade design for this film. Instead of going with a simple Bowie shape, he made the Bowie knife with a harpoon tip and a finger twirl right near the guard, and I thought that was pretty unique. And I would say it would be effective for a hunting Bowie, that's for sure. I'm just glad I got one in my collection already. And my number 8 spot is occupied by the infamous Heartstopper knife from Rambo 5 Last Blood. I mean, once I saw Rambo take this thing to Mexico to seek revenge on the Mexican cartel guys, and he was stabbing the heck out of them people too, by the way. But then when he went back home to wait for them to show up and he attacked them with his traps and his tunnels, it was fascinating just to see him pull this blade out and stab the main leader of the cartel and rip his heart out with that thing. Whew, man, I was like, yep, that knife is brutal. And Stallone did not want no big Bowie knife or another machete, even though he did use Gil Hibben's Rambo 4 machete again. He wanted something of a knife making of the future, but a smaller hunting knife, and to pay tribute to the First Blood knife in a way. And Dietmar came up with this bad boy. And boy, does it look wicked cool. I saved my money up. I'm definitely buying me a replica of one of these. Okay, number 7 is the Expendables Bowie knife designed by Gil Hibben. Gil did an amazing job creating this blade, but all he took was a Musso Bowie blade shape and just added a nice shiny brass guard with stars on it and a white ivory handle with the Expendables logo on it. Kind of looks like a killer gentleman's Bowie knife, if you ask me. But seeing Dolph Lundgren wield this thing, he could really put you down with one stab with this beast. All right, coming in at number 6 is Rambo's First Blood knife. It's an iconic movie blade, and to me, it looked like an upgraded version of one of those survival knives that you probably find at Walmart, Harbor Freight, or any Army surplus or hunting store. But Jimmy Lau took it a step further. Since Rambo was a Vietnam vet, he designed a knife that Rambo probably would have took it to a knife smith to have made, where he wanted a hollow handle knife with a survival kit and compass in it, but with a guard that's got the Phillips and flathead screwdriver on it. But the blade would be thicker and sharper than any known knife that was made for the Vietnam War effort. And Jimmy Lau delivered. Not only a cool knife, but a true movie blade masterpiece. Number 5 is the Crocodile Dundee Bowie knife, used by a very famous Australian, Paul Hogan. And when he pulled this knife out and gave that signature line, "That's not a knife, this is a knife," I was like, oh, yes. And just to see him cut that punk's jacket up with that thing, I was like, ooh, yes. If that thing was sharp enough to cut through a punk's jacket and stab a crocodile in its thick hide, then you definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of that thing. Coming in at number 4 is the Bowie machete used by Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator. Oh man, I saw this blade for the first time. I was like, holy crap. That thing's humongous. But I guarantee you, if this thing can chop right through a predator, it could probably stab a bear hide if you were out in the woods and a grizzly bear came charging right at you. I know that bear would be going down in a lot of pain with this sticking out of its chest. Coming in at number 3 is the Rambo 2 Mission Knife. I said it before in the other video, but I like this knife over the First Blood knife because, one, the blade's bigger and it's got that cool stealth black coating on it, but still kept the survival kit, compass, and screwdriver handguard on it. But when you see Rambo take this knife and stab one of the Vietnam pirates with it, you know that this blade was constructed to do some heavy damage, that's for sure. You pull that sucker out, you will either amaze people of what it could do in either survival or camping situation, or intimidate somebody and make them pee their pants. Okay, number 2 is the Rambo 3 Bowie knife designed by Gil Hibben. This is truly a knife masterpiece right here. Gil had brought something different to the Rambo knife table because Stallone didn't want Rambo to have another survival knife like Jimmy Lau designed for 1 and 2. He wanted more of a Bowie blade shape, but with hints of Afghanian knife designs. Like, look how the tip is shaped. It almost looks fantasy-like you see an Arabian sword would have. Also wanted to pay tribute to his Baker team friends with the notches on top. I mean, even seeing it in the film when Rambo pulled it out of the sheath and flipped it to throw it at somebody, I was like, dang, that thing is well balanced. Because I wouldn't be throwing no big knife like that unless it was really necessary. But boy, it's a beauty. But let me show you my number one pick that overtops this one. My number one spot is the Hunter's Companion Bowie. Now, you probably wonder, what movie was this in? It was in Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Michael Myers was using it, but it had a different handle on it because I think a knife guy was contacted by Rob to make the knife, and he made the knife handle kind of thinner than this coffin-shaped handle. Here, let me show you a prop replica of one. As you can see, it's got a darker brown, black handle, and is a little bit more rounded than the coffin shape. But I saw Michael Myers whip that Bowie out and start stabbing the heck out of Loomis and some of his other victims with it. I was like, oh, heck yeah. That's way better than the standard kitchen knife he always used in the movies. But this is definitely one of them knives that I would love to have in my collection. Because one, it's a big Bowie knife, and I love Bowies. And two, Michael Myers used it. I'm in. Well, okay, everybody. That was my top 15 movie knife list. Let me know down in the comments, how would you rank these movie knives, or if you have a completely different set of knives that you rank as your top 10, 15 all-time favorite movie knives. This has been another successful installment of the Tin Man's Quarter Channel. I'm your host, Jeffrey Tin Man Taylor. I say that's a wrap, and have a nice day, y'all.